beautiful day it is out today. This whole week has just been glorious. A few weeks ago, Owen came out to our forest and packed down the trails so that we could walk on it, and it's just lovely. And yeah, it's not even sweater weather. It is just regular shirt weather, and it's beautiful. And in this peace and this quiet, I decided to talk about my need for people to let me know before they drop by. So I'll find myself a spot on our chalet deck, sit in the setting sun, and have a chat with you about it. And if you can give me some good advice, that would be super. One of the issues with this glorious weather is that with the melting of the snow and it going to just like zero, is very, very icy. This is the glittery, shiny, icy driveway that I get to tromp across with my fancy boots with their spikes, trying to not fall on my butt. And so just being super careful, don't need to break another bone, because that wasn't special about a year and a half ago. And so just taking care, enjoying myself, and getting winded all at the same time. Hi there, welcome to another video from Carpe Omnia After 60. And today I wanted to talk about wondering if it's more than just me who feels this way, and it's on the topic of people just dropping by your house. And whether you're in retirement or not, this can be a thing. Now, I'm not sure if it's because I'm a pretty strong introvert. You might have noticed that in all these videos. But yeah, I struggle with the drop-bys. And I think it started always. I think it's in my family history, from my mother down to my daughter. And I just thought I would see if more have this problem and how you handle it, if it's even to be handled. Now, my parents, both of them, are not people that you drop by to visit at all. You need to be invited, or you need to give lots and lots of notice, and it's always been that way. And we grew up knowing this, and it just is what it is. I remember when my nephew and a bunch of folks were coming over to visit them, and it was all planned out, and the meal was being made, the steaks were being bought, it was all just getting ready, and they decided they were going to bring an extra guest. Somebody else wanted to come along. They thought it would be a great idea. They didn't let Mom know, and they just brought this extra relative along, and yet Mom was furious. She talked about it for years. She was just so angry about that. So it's a thing in my family, and I know my daughter's the same too. Just don't be just dropping by. Make sure you let her know. And yeah, so that's me as well. I remember a time, now this might bother you as well, depending on which, let's say, religion you are in. Now, I was a young mom. I was married at the time. I had two little ones under the age of 3, and we were out in the country on a little acreage. And this couple came to visit. They were maybe in their 60s, and I recognized them as neighbors of my parents. And so I opened the door and let them in. Took a lot to get them out again because it ended up that they were Jehovah's Witness, and well, they were witnessing, and it really bothered me, and they wouldn't leave. And then they finally did. And I told my husband about it, and he wasn't happy about folks just coming in the house either. The next weekend, they came back again, and I didn't answer the door. They finally left. The following weekend, there was 2 couples, and the 4 of them showed up at my door, and I did not open the door. The weekend after, a bloody van. You've seen the vans where there's like 8 people can fit in the van, the wife, the kids, and they sat and they had a meal in my driveway. And they were there for hours, and they wouldn't leave, and I stayed in my house. I would not answer the door. And yeah, I'm not even sure how that got handled. I think husband got a hold of the number of those folks and told them off. So that was just one reason why I'm just really hesitant to open doors, because especially if you don't even know who it is. If they are coming in 2x2s or 2 men all dressed up in suits or what have you, I'm not going to open the door. It doesn't feel safe at all. It never did. And I don't know why they do that. And also, even if it's somebody that I do know, I will often not answer the door if I'm not prepared. I need to be mentally psyched up to get company. I might be doing something, I might not be doing something. My house might be a mess. My husband has a sister when we were living in the last town we were in. And she liked to walk around town and would often stop by the house. And I was quite uncomfortable. She is quite gregarious and talks a mile a minute, and she's there for quite a length of time when she does show up. Once in a while I would open the door, but mostly I wouldn't. And if Owen was home, then fine, whatever, but I just didn't want to do it. If I wasn't prepared for it, mentally prepared for it, I don't enjoy drop-bys. I never did. For that matter, I even would prefer a heads up if you're going to FaceTime. No, like a text saying, I'll FaceTime in an hour or in 10 minutes, are you around? But just to have a FaceTime ringing. And again, I'm not prepared. I'm in the middle of something. I'm not ready. My hair is all, I'm just not prepared to be FaceTiming at that moment. So a heads up so I can be settled, so that I can have Gus, our dog, all taken care of. So whatever's going on, I can be ready for a FaceTime. I prefer that. So if it happens just out of the blue, often I'll just let it ring through and not answer it until a better time. Yes, I'm very much an introvert. And yeah, do you have these struggles, and how do you handle it? And even with some phone calls. With some phone calls, when you see the number dialing, and even especially if you don't know who it is, I just let it ring through because it's often spam, right? It's just, numbers call and it just says Alberta across the top. Well, I don't know in Alberta, and I'm certainly not going to pick up a call from random people. And with some people, when the call does come in, it depends on where I am mentally. I have 1 or 2 people that I have to be in a very zen place to pick up their call, and one is my sister, our Jasmine's birth mother. She does have mental illness. She's very hard to talk to. I used to be one of the only ones that would pick up her calls, and she would call several times a week. And the calls lasted at least an hour. And the calls were always the same thing over and over and over. Nothing new. There was nothing new being said. It was just the same complaints and the same discussions constantly, and I had to be so careful to walk on eggshells, because if I said the wrong thing, well, then she'd be yelling at me and slamming the phone. Well, now you can't slam the phone because we are not rotary. Remember, slam. Now, bloop, she just gets mad. So those calls are very hard to negotiate or navigate, and I have to be in a calm state of mind with nobody around, with time, because it takes quite a length of time to do those calls. And one person I've been avoiding because I don't know if I trust her. It's my cousin. She wants to visit from Quebec. She stayed with my parents for when my dad was supposed to be dying, but he didn't. And she was telling me that I needed to call my mother. I needed to call my mother. She was messaging this, and I'd never met the woman. And she said, well, your mom wants you to call. And I said, is mom wanting me to call because she's angry or because she misses me or loves me? She wouldn't answer. So I had my answer. And she's been wanting to come visit, and I'm hesitant to have her in my home because it feels kind of like a flying monkey kind of a thing. I don't know. I think she's going to try again in spring, and I think I'll do some meeting in town, having a coffee, just to feel things out, to see what kind of a person my cousin is, to see how that goes. Because once somebody's in your home, because if they're coming out of province, they think they're going to stay a while. Well, they could be in your home for like a week, 10 days, longer. You don't know. And how do you kick them out? Because to kick somebody out of your house will cause a whole other issue than if you didn't have them in there in the first place. So I need to assess the situation first. But yeah, I'm not one to have people drop by. Well, and the other kind of drop-bys that really irritate the crap out of me, and it probably does a lot of you guys too, it's when you have people, especially if you're on Facebook, let's say, because that's the only way they find you. They get themselves reacquainted with you, and let's say you went to school with them back 1,000 years ago, and you're getting along fine, and they want to drop by and have a visit and what have you, but they won't really say why they're coming, right? They're not saying, well, we're just dropping by to have coffee or whatnot. And it ends up they want to show you a business opportunity that has been so wonderful for them and that would be so great for me. And that's happened a time or two where they won't say why they're coming, and in the end of the day, they are trying to sell their Amway, or they're trying to sell their essential oils, or they're wanting to sell whatever. You're just a business opportunity. You're not really a friend they want to get to know. And indeed, when you don't bite on that, they just poof and disappear. So it wasn't really them wanting to get to know you. They're just trying to do business. Another time I like to keep to myself as much as possible and not get social is when I'm out walking with Gus. I often have the headphones on my head, like you'll see in many, many of the videos. And I've got Gus on a leash. And sometimes I'm videoing myself and chatting with you people. And if I look ahead and I see somebody walking their dogs way down in the distance, I will turn and go back, even go into the house. Because depending who it is, one of them likes to visit, which is cool, for a great long time, which, depending on what I'm doing or what I've got planned, especially if I'm creating a video, I just am not up for at that moment. But most of the time I do catch up with her and we do walk together and chat. But yeah, if I have other things on the go, I will turn around and head back. Not really sure if that's totally antisocial, but it's kind of just blocking my time off where I need to do something, because otherwise you get caught up in something else and what you're doing gets left for another day or two, or just even never gets accomplished. So yeah, so I guard my time. And I'm pretty quick here. I'll have a built-in excuse to not entertain folks, because our plan for this winter was to renovate the upstairs. That would be the living room and the kitchen, because it desperately needs it. It's been lost in the 70s the cupboards, the lazy Susans don't lazy Susan, like it's all, yeah. So gonna get a lot of work done, so there's gonna be renovating in there. So yeah, not set to entertain. And it'll be nice to have a break from people because yeah, Christmas and New Year's was busy and noisy and chaotic, and now it's peaceful and quiet. And I'm telling you, I'm sitting outside and I'm in my shirt. I tried to wear my hoodie and it was just too hot. It's middle of January, the day before Jasmine's birthday. She's going to be 10. And yeah, it's glorious. It's melting. It's warm. It's shirt weather. Now last fall, this temperature was put on a coat, but now I'm acclimatized and it's shirt weather and quite beautiful. And as we psych up and prepare for tomorrow, we've got the gifts all wrapped up for Jasmine. Her tree is all prepared and lit up. And she's excited, and this is her last day of being 9. She's going to be a tween, and it's all very exciting. And I will talk to you again in a few days. This is Annette from Carpe Omnia After 60. Hope you're doing well. Take care.